Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking to you about something that I am so passionate about, and it's 5 productivity tips that truly have changed my life. Honestly, all of these things are so simple, but they have made such a difference to my life in terms of productivity, efficiency, and just using my time the best way I can. So let's move straight into the first one. And I know a lot of you aren't going to like it, but once you actually get into this routine, it is so easy, and that is having your phone / your alarm on the opposite side of your bedroom. Here is where I sleep, and here is where I charge my phone every single night. Still close enough for me to hear the alarm, but far enough away that I do have to get out of bed to turn off the alarm. In my old place, I used to have an ensuite attached to my bedroom, and that is where I would actually charge my phone every single night. That way I would get out of bed, go turn off my alarm, and I could wash my face or jump straight in the shower or do something like that to wake myself up as soon as I got out of bed, and that was also very helpful. Our bathroom isn't attached to our bedroom in this house, so I can't really do that, but if you do, that's also a great idea. Honestly, having your alarm on the other side of your bedroom can dramatically change your whole day. The fact that you have to get out of bed to turn it off automatically eliminates the potential of you pressing snooze or just going back to sleep. And you might be saying, yeah, Rachel, but I could just turn it off and then head straight back to bed. And you think I haven't already thought of that. Remember, these are all tips that I have incorporated into my life and trialed and errored, and these are the things that have actually worked for me. And this is where tip 2 comes in. Make sure you wake up with a plan for your day. Lately, I've actually been using Notion to plan out my days. This is a pretty new thing to me, and no, this is not sponsored, but I am loving it. I write my to-do list in order of priority. So the first thing on my to-do list is my number 1 priority for that day. I've kind of cleared my schedule just for privacy reasons, but I only give myself 5 priorities for each day, and then I have an if there's time list, and those are the tasks that I can complete that may not be as important, but I may still want to get done that day, and I can do if I have time. Now, I don't mean that you have to schedule out every single second of your day the night before, but you just need to have a general plan of what you're doing that next day. If you already have a morning routine that's kind of already set in stone, this might not be much of an issue because as soon as you wake up, you know what your next steps are. But if you don't have that, I really recommend creating it. Even if it's only the first step done, because as soon as you wake up, your brain will automatically know exactly what's coming next. Maybe for you, that is making your bed. Maybe for you, that's going to have breakfast. Maybe it's just going to the toilet, whatever it may be. But just have your next step planned out so your mind isn't thinking about getting back in bed. You already have your next step planned out, and after a while it'll become an automatic response for you. Part of tip number 2 and planning out your day is to always have something that you look forward to as soon as you get out of bed. Let me give you an example. If you love coffee and the first part of your morning routine is making your morning coffee, then you are going to be so much more likely to want to get out of bed because you have something to look forward to. Now let me give you a different example. If you hate running and you have told yourself that when you wake up in the morning, you're going to go on a 10-kilometer run, when you wake up and that comes into your mind, that is not something that makes you want to get out of bed. Am I right? Or another example is if you really hate your job and you know that the first thing you think of when you wake up is how much you don't want to go to work, of course you're not going to want to get out of bed. So that's why I recommend having something that you look forward to every morning. Because yeah, you might have to go to the job that you don't particularly like, but you have a coffee first and you love coffee, so it's something to look forward to. Just something to get you out of bed and excited for your day. For me, I love my quiet time. I love spending the morning doing my gratitude and my journaling and my Bible reading. If I'm getting out of bed and I know that's the next thing in my routine, I'm genuinely looking forward to doing that thing, and I'm genuinely wanting to get out of bed. I know that this step will look different for everybody, but if you can just find one thing in your morning routine that you can look forward to, it will make it so much easier to get out of bed knowing that you have that to look forward to. Tip number 3 is something that I only really discovered and incorporated into my routine fairly recently, but I feel like it has made a dramatic change to my level of productivity. I recently read this book by Brian Tracy. It's called Eat That Frog. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys have heard of it. It's a pretty well-known concept, pretty well-known book, and the main idea of this book is that if you know you have to eat a frog, do it first thing in the morning, which basically means if you have a really important or uncomfortable or difficult task that you know you have to do it first thing in the morning and get it over and done with. And there's a few reasons for this. Doing that task first eliminates the potential of you procrastinating that task. Not only will procrastinating that task basically give your brain permission to continue pushing that task back and back, whether that's a few hours or a few days, continuously until you either don't get the task done at all or you get majorly close to a deadline that just stresses you out. But it also just gives that task the authority to loom over your head when we all know that you don't want that. For example, I hate making business calls and I hate answering emails. I just hate it. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, it's time consuming, it's just kind of a mundane task. However, for me, if I know that I have to make an important business call and I decide that I'm going to push it back till the end of my day, that task is now looming over me all day and I'm kind of feeling a little bit stressed and anxious knowing that I'm going to have to make that call later in the day, and now I'm stuck with that uncomfortable feeling the whole day. But also, if any other important tasks come up in the day, I'm sure as heck gonna push that business call back to the next day so that I don't have to deal with it, which is just plain stupid, because then I'm also going to have that uncomfortable feeling for another day or so until I actually make that call. So my way of dealing with this weakness of mine is to get that stuff out of the way first thing in the morning. The first hour of my workday is filled with phone calls, emails, and replying to messages, texts, comments, whatever it may be. Those are all things that I don't enjoy doing, but after the first hour of my day, I know that all of those tasks that I don't want to do are already done, and the rest of my day can be spent doing things that I actually want to do. The second reason why this tip can be so helpful is because by completing that really important or kind of difficult task first thing in the morning, it actually gives you a sense of confidence and accomplishment pretty much as soon as your day has begun. This sense of accomplishment and confidence will also turn into motivation to get the rest of your tasks done for the day. So by doing this, you're really just setting yourself up for success and having the best mindset possible for that day. Tip number 4 is something that I have been doing for years, and it is time blocking. So this means that when you're planning your day, you block out certain amounts of times to do certain tasks. Now, I feel like I can't go into depth completely about this kind of method and technique, but there is so much research out there that will explain to you the best way to do this. One of my favorite podcasts, Skinny Confidential, also talks a lot about time batching and time blocking, so I'll try and link one of their episodes down below, which really helped me. Like I said earlier, I spend the first hour of my workday replying to comments, replying to emails, making business calls. But in saying that, if I don't finish everything in that first hour, too bad, I'm moving on to the next task and the next kind of time block of my day, because there are other things that need to be done. I find time blocking so helpful because it kind of gives me a time limit. For example, if I give myself 2 hours for editing from 9 till 11, I know that if I want to have a free afternoon, then I need to get that editing done within that time limit. Whereas if I just tell myself I need to edit a video sometime in that day, who knows when that's going to happen, and also who knows how long I'm going to take. If I don't kind of give myself a rough time estimate, I'm much more likely to get distracted on my phone or distracted doing another task because I don't really have a deadline. I find giving myself like fake deadlines very helpful. That's why I upload every Tuesday and every Friday at 5 p.m. because I know that I need to get my videos done before that time, and it just gives you a sense of accountability. Another thing that's really important about time blocking is to make sure you schedule in breaks. So every day I take a short 15-minute break around 10 a.m. and then a full lunch hour at 12 o'clock till 1 o'clock. One of the reasons I find this so helpful is because when it gets to 9:30 and I'm starting to get a little bit snacky, I'm starting to lose focus, I know that I only have 30 more minutes before I get to take a 15-minute break. I also love this because it means that when I do take those breaks, I don't feel guilty about them because they were scheduled into my day. If you're someone who can tend to be a little bit of a workaholic and work through your whole day and get to 3 p.m. and realize you haven't even eaten yet today, this could be really helpful to you. In the same way, if you're someone who finds self-discipline a little bit more difficult, this is also really helpful because it does keep you accountable to those times, and you always have a break to look forward to. And my last tip for this video is to end your day with something that you love. This could be as simple as a cup of tea or half an hour of reading time or watching your favorite TV show, or it could be as elaborate as a dinner out with friends or taking your dog to the beach for a sunset swim. It could be as minuscule or as grand as you want it to be, and some days it might be really simple, some days it might be really exciting, but I just feel like having something to look forward to every single day just gives me this sense of joy, and it means that I'm doing something that I love at least once every day. It also means that no matter how much you hate your job, or no matter how tired you are, or no matter how unmotivated you are, there is something good in every single day. For me, some days it's as simple as having my favorite snack after I finish work that day, or it might mean going to my favorite restaurant with my husband for no actual reason apart from that we want to. But if you are someone who finds it difficult to find something good in every day, or to feel thankful for the things that you have, start creating good things in your life. Start creating things to be thankful for, because you do have control over that. So those are all the tips that I have to share, and to be honest, they're not just my tips for having a productive day, but also an enjoyable one. We as humans are not designed just to work and hustle until we push ourselves to the edge. We are also supposed to enjoy our lives and slow down and be present and just be thankful for the life that we live. If you can't tell from this video, obviously I love productivity. I just love that feeling of accomplishment and getting stuff done, but at the same time, I feel like you can only reach your potential of productivity when you feel your best. So when you sleep well, when you eat well, when you're looking after your body, that is when you're going to be able to give yourself the best chance of being the most productive. So make sure you're looking after yourself, and hopefully some of these tips will help you. Maybe you'll try and incorporate one or all of these tips, and if they do help you, please let me know. I would love to hear how they work for you. I do truly believe that these aren't going to work for everybody, and there are other tips that are going to work better, but these are some of the things that have helped me the most, and hopefully they'll help you guys too. If you want more videos like this, make sure you let me know, and also subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video very soon. Goodbye.